I've spotted something. I need to dig here.
Them sorcerers from the caravan.
Driftwood is mostly the same as every other fishing town. It's got the same aroma, the same herds of unwashed dwarves. The void, though, it's closing in. Void woken roam the land and pollute the sea. That they haven't invaded the town it's a miracle.
The Magister smiles, but he does not make eye contact with you. He shifts his weight from the left foot to the right.
Thank the Seven I've Aldous to guide me in these times. He allows me to borrow a bit of courage from him when I need. It's only a matter of time, you know? Outside Driftwood, not even the sharpest blades can protect us from those things. Inside, a killer roams. One with a Magister grudge, it seems. Our numbers dwindle. I'm hardly fit to protect. I only hope to survive. I know they disappear without a sign. Magister Carver's looking into it, but it's been so long since we've talked, a dwarf could have grown 3 beards by now. Farewell.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
The silent monk's stitched lips are the colour of sea ice. The expected happens. Nothing.
As long as there's no sorcerers, there's no void woken.
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern.
Oh, we dwarves at a king's.
Good times. Good times. I wonder if they'll remember me.
Heavens to Bessie, another one. More queer folk than commoners in Driftwood these days. Just look at you! A sword-slinging stranger if ever I saw one. I'm surprised those robed fellas aren't attacking you on sight. Anyway, tavern's just down the road. Can't miss it. My pleasure, Gov. Hope you have a good time with the freak folk in there. I'd keep a wary eye, mind. I saw one of them dragging a void woken in there once. There's freaks, and then there's lunatics.
Maybe I'm glad I ain't pulling carts of stinking fish round no more. But what's a beast to do if not pull? How can a beast enjoy this when he's no notion of what his future holds? I'll be spooked till I'm securely hitched up again.
Ifan Ben Mesd is our living breeze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
She considers your offer.
How much?
The Magister grabs the coin and looks around shiftily, then turns back to you.
Get out of here, and don't let me catch you again.
You look strange, and we already got more of that than we need around here.
Woke up this morning in a sweat.
Well now,
Ivan smiles and
Penny for a sick dog?
a glance at the dog's miserable face tells you it's sick all right.
What am I, dog's doctor? Dog's sick. Go on, kiss a penny for a sick dog. Thank ye kindly. Any chance of another one? Penny for a sick dog and all that? Putty for a penny, you can sing him a love song and call him Mummy.
The dog lies there quietly, clearly in great pain.
You don't smell right. Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog bares its teeth at you and growls. The dog gives you a long, hard stare, but does not bite you. Yet. The dog goes to bite your hand, and then realizes the pain is gone.
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks, man. Think I'll wander off now. Here, before I go, what can I do to show my gratitude? Master did. Huh? Wait a minute. Master hurted me? Excuse me a minute. I'm gonna go now, but first I have a thing I need to do.
He turns to his master.
You bad man, you!
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away.
People don't want to leave town.
God damn it. How was my livelihood? Penny for a grieving beggar? I reckon I'm owed it here.
People still need potions.
You wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes. You would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
He gives you a cool look, then rummages in his pocket. He hands you the contents.
That's your lot. Go on then. Get lost, you freeloader. I'm working here. Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. Then get out of the way. Penny for a sick dog, people. Go on then.
The carved figure is
Made it back, safe and sound. That's all you
Well met, friend. Interested in Driftwood's finest catch?
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
It's free to look. Just don't touch nothing unless you're gonna make my purse jingle. Fair travels, friend.
made it back safe.
War's a brewing, my friend, and I'll stand by your side. But prices will go up, even for one of our own. Buy now and buy often. Special prices for you, my friend. Gotta stick with your own in times of trouble, right? War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your tunnel,
Keep steady. People still need potions. Goodbye soon enough.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire! Latest news! Fresh from the war owl! Here are many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy? Ain't looking too good for them lizards. Word is, the Divine Order's gonna hit the ancient empire and hit it hard. You remember what happened to the elves, don't ya? Ain't no one left standing when you treat them to death, folk. Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Ha! Scourge, more like.
Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of the sword, no sir. Had them all hung. Real slow like. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no queen. 7 save us. Stabbed in the back he was by them vile, low-born, treacherous seekers. Kill them all, I say. Do them like Magister Raymond did old Lady Seaver. That'll teach them traitors. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now?
Hello, mister.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
You be careful. My daddy's a magister. No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here. We're waiting for our friend. He went for a swim. He'll be back soon. He went swimming all the way to Fort Happy. Fort Joy? That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's gonna find his mum and bring her back. That's right. I think he's an idiot. And when he gets back, I'm going to tell him so. I hope Joe doesn't smell when he comes back.
Hackles raised, the dog barks at the sand built up beneath the building.
There's something not right, and that's wrong. It's under the house thing there, and it's bad. I can smell it. You be careful now. What's under there smells real bad. It smells evil.
Magister's dropping left and right. Can't say I'm shedding any tears.
Once, this was a tavern, or a hotel, or a brothel. An elf in tattered red robes shifts through pages of handwritten notes spread across the table.
So many suspects. So many potential culprits. I need to narrow down the list. Think, you damn elf, think.
A floorboard creaks beneath your foot. The elf leaps around abruptly.
What? Why do you sneak up on me? Don't you know how dangerous that is, the way things are? Haven't you heard? My own Magister comrades are vanishing from right here in Driftwood. Whoever's behind it must be stopped. If you hear anything, come to me. I was removed from their ranks due to my elven blood. I'll continue to serve, though. I won't stand to see my comrades taken by some vile traitor. 3 Magisters vanished so far, all within Driftwood. My comrades believe some tinkerer named Higba is behind it all, but they're wrong. I'm certain of it. That's what I'm intent on finding out. This tavern is full of scum and degenerates. The true culprit could easily conceal themselves amongst them. I have to keep investigating, keep the pressure up. The culprit will make a mistake eventually. If you see anything suspicious, let me know. You do that. Now away with you. I'm approaching this.
The path thus ends. You have interrupted my newest masterpiece.
The bard clears his throat and gargles on his own saliva. He then returns to his poem, but his voice cracks mid-verse.
Well, never you mind. Every sonnet I compose is a masterpiece, and my muse has been begging me to write something new. Wait! You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. All I ask in return is a handful of coins. It's an offer of a lifetime. Fame, notoriety, neither, or both? The thing about a good poem is that it wiggles into the ear. People think it's just a catchy rhyme, but it changes minds and hearts, for good and for ill. Magnificent! But if I am to write a first-rate work, you must face some difficult questions. Are you prepared to answer?
He stares at you for a few torturing moments.
Your eyes betray the guilt of the human race. You believe it your right to ravage Grivalon. What say you?
He smiles a crooked smile and runs a hand through his greasy hair.
Ah, arrogance! That most peculiar of human traits, given your lack of cultural accomplishment. Save the towers you erect in worship of greed. What riches do you seek, human? Indeed, you seem almost fearless in your conviction. But I know better. Stripped of their swords and shields, humans are as fragile as flower petals. Admit your cowardice.
The bard hems and haws, then bellows his next words to anyone who might hear.
To all lovers of verse, I bring glorious news. I have completed another modern classic. Listen now, and bask in its resounding refrain. War drums keep the rhythm of patrol. Humankind establishes control.
Arguing with Mac is like giving medicine to the dead. He's as stubborn as a corpse and smells the part to boot. No wonder Papa Thrash gives him the stink any time he tries to go downstairs.
Gold and diamonds.
Another sorcerer on the loose. I knew they should have cut off the Meister's head and burned the rest. Gotta make sure it don't grow back.
Yet all is just facade.
Ain't ever been big on humankind, but that verse makes me feel a little more respect for 'em, you know?
That divine voice, that idyllic poetry. I could lose myself in Barstan's cinnamon eyes.
An elf sways on her chair, her eyes focused on the counter in front of her, where she has 6 glasses in a row. With the nails of 2 fingers, she's pressing red welts into her forearm. She slides one of the drinks towards you, her head bobbling heavily on her neck as she nods at the sparkling ale.
And that.
The drink has barely any effect on you, bar a coldness in your ribcage and a wetness in your seat.
Nothing like a glass of the good stuff to smudge everything into a pretty shape.
She slides another glass of ale toward you. Its contents sparkle in the dim barlight.
Bottoms up. It's a sad story about a lover who left me out cold. Name's mind your business. Cheers to you, me, and...
Her gaze swivels around the room.
Damien's dull knife. This place is horrible. Never mind. Cheers to you, me, and me again. Another.
What do you mean? Ah, fat lot of good that'd do me around here. Poor dwarfies can't seem to catch a break in these parts. So, to the dwarves. Psh, give me one good reason.
She dumps a heavy arm around your shoulder and pulls you in close, her breath hot and sour in your face.
Look it. Look at this. This is my story.
She shows you the 2 swollen, angry red welts on the underside of her arm. She slaps them without finesse, making herself wince, and stares at you intensely.
I know how to make it better. I can fix it, all of it. I'll tell you. You know, how when you're just not right, you know, on a person basis. There's this woman. I'm not crazy. And if she kisses you, she can change you. She's downstairs. And now I'm different. It's in her lips. It's in the magic. I changed the right way. And then, I think that'll be fine. You understand how, you know, sometimes you just want to be fine. Hey, Rudy, this guy says he's doing fine. Ah, what a sap. Not all of us are so lucky. Excuse me.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
The soft lines of her face fold into a warm smile. She sets the glass on the counter and pours you a generous portion of an amber liquor.
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. You and my Niles would get along. Nice to see an unfamiliar face. What brings you to Driftwood, darling? Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. My, but it's been too long since I've seen him. Too bad. I taught that boy right. Abstinence and chastity. That's what we learned in our household. And look at him now. A physician in the Divine's own order. The lessons paid off, they did. Anyhow, what can I get you? And where did you hear that? That disgraced elf who's been loitering outside my establishment since he was rightfully removed from his position. If I were you, I wouldn't pay any heed to the ramblings of that fool. We've only got amber ale, I'm afraid. Can't spare the potatoes for hard alcohol. If you'd like something that'll stick to your ribs, I'd flag down Loverick and get yourself a bowl of the house stew. Coming right up, darling.
She nods an uninterested greeting.
Here for the fight? This is a tavern. People are drinking. Eventually there'll be a fight. You planning on starting one? Well, I look forward to beating the shite out of you then. Bye now. Till later.
Ah, finally! Your colleague over there is absolutely useless. I'll have a bowl of the house stew, if you please. Oh, pity. I've been trying to get a little something to eat all day. But the giggleheads who run this establishment don't seem to be willing to provide a fellow with his fair portion. After all I've been through, too.
He lowers his gaze, then looks up at you expectantly. His lip trembles dramatically.
It's my mentor. My dear mentor. He was killed by those void beasts. I told him we ought not to travel in the hills, but would he listen? No. Now here I sit, my closest companion gone, our precious cargo worth more than Lucian's right ring, lost to the beast-infested wilds. And the waiter won't even bring me any stew. Ah, then perhaps my luck has changed. Yes, perhaps this awful business might soon be behind me. Tell me, how are you with, well, Void Woken? Ah, terrific news. Then what I ask will be little more than a trifling. My mentor, Liam, and I were hauling in a goodly number of fine wares from the Southlands when we crossed paths with a great brute of a Void Woken. We made short work of Liam, may the gods rest his soul. I managed to escape, but my precious cargo was left behind. We'd invested our entire livelihood in those wares. I'll do anything to get them back. Of course. We'll, discuss the specifics once you've returned. Now, give me your map. I'll show you just where to look. I doubt those beasts out there have any use of such a cargo. I can't tell you how thoroughly you've made my day. Good luck.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Ah, I see. You're sniffing around for a reward. Well, there'll be gold for anyone who helps us bring this mess to an end. Otherwise, you won't get a damn thing. The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled. He's a tinkerer type named Higba. Grey beard and a dark cloak, according to reports. He's still here somewhere. He can't have gotten out of Driftwood. Not past our barricades. If you see anything, tell me or my men at once. Otherwise, keep the hell out of our way. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then.
I'm watching you, stranger.
I need those reports. Yeah.
Right away.
The Meister's back. She doesn't feel like playing, but...
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Meister Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe, cutting a new stretch of bandage.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else? Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen, Godwoken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, Godwoken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will not be too technical. Your talent for following instructions will push the button.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Ancient rooms? Weird contraptions? This place is an arcanist's dream.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? Just so. To accept divinity is to accept responsibility for the lives of every person and beast that walks Riverlon. If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice. But make no mistake, the divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then, well, not inhale the smoke, but whatever the skeletal equivalent is. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, itchy bones, or a dire sense of existential dread. They are all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a void-woken would be even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
You simple. Perform the...
As the smoke swirls about your skull, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul. Bathed in the half-light of this eerie, starless landscape, you spot a figure you could only describe as you, another you. It looks haggard and weak, its voice merely a feeble echo of your own.
My child, come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am. My child, it is time.
The apparition clasps your face in shaking, skeletal hands, and you feel a tingle run through your bones. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color before fading back to their accustomed spectrum.
Time to open the eyes you lost so long ago. Speak the spell and see.
Gone is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the goddess Amadia in all her spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you, child? I saved you when the ship went down. I blessed you, made you powerful, and now I've come to seek some power in return. Your God-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. And now you have brought me a gift.
Amadia stretches out and nourishes herself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself as it drains away.
Ah, yes. That is better. That is so much better. Truly, dying does not become a god. Ungrateful whelp! How dare you bemoan me some meager sauce after all I've done for you? I have guided you, saved you, and now you must do the same for me. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We are battling for our very survival, and we are losing. Should we truly perish, all will be cast into oblivion. Indeed, there is. To save us both, as a matter of fact. You must realize, dear one, that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with.
But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. And once you are strong enough, we must travel to the Well of Ascension. There, you will become even more powerful. It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave those powers up freely to create the first divine. To bathe in the lake is to become the divine. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it, no matter what the cost. I know, sweet child. Do you think I chose you for that fine bone structure alone? It is important you realize how high the stakes are. The Void has never been this strong. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in its powers, but to take them, all of them. Only he who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator. It is simplicity itself. They will bow to you, or be undone. Of course, the others are saying the same to their mortal God-woken as we speak. But there can be only one. So make no mistake, dear one. The road to divinity may well be paved with dead gods, their blood staining your ivory hands. But do not let that dismay you. You will save all of existence. You will save your kin and your loved ones, and all the rest of the mortal world, and you will become a god. I will lead you to the lake, my child, but not yet. Not until you have become a true master of the Source, until you speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source as only a God-woken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
Laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You flatter me, dear child, but if all I had to do was give, you would have received long ago. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, return to me here. Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source it is, immortally so. You have the vision of a god now, sight that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. Good luck, dear child. Make me proud. Go now, my child.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What'd you know?
She sighs impatiently as you hold your head in your hands, rubbing what's left of your temples.
You can't channel enough sauce? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps? Indeed not. And ever more difficult when you've been purged. I was a master of sauce once, but no longer. The Magisters saw to that. The river of my source has been dammed. My link to the font from which it flows, severed. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. These are the kinds of creatures that grew bored pulling the legs from spiders and so moved on to people. Fun is not the word I would choose. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just keep your eye sockets peeled. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.